I was super excited when I first saw these IKEA pendant lamps. They were also on sale when I bought them. I feel like they had so much potential. Now I have to do both. I can't. It's cute. I feel like I'm on vacation. They are like that wavy shape that I really like right now. I feel like it could have potential to look really organic and pretty. It's a neutral enough color. In any other texture, I think it would look pretty nice. But because it's this cheap plastic, and of course Loki's hair is all over it because it's sticking, it just doesn't look good on its own. And the paper one is just a bit too flimsy for my liking. It doesn't feel like a permanent fixture unless I do something to it. I am hoping to create something that's a bit more substantial. It's really interesting because I didn't actually know that these two are different sizes. This is kind of what I'm drawing from in terms of inspiration. I really do like the plaster look, and I think there's something to work with here in terms of shape. I'm just gonna test things out and we will see what comes of it because it's all a part of the process and I'm just going to lean into it. If you're new here, I'm Joanne from Jo's Abode. I'm usually building things in my own home, but over the last year and some, I've been helping others update and upgrade their homes as well. And I'm about to move soon, so a lot of my projects have scaled down significantly until we get to the new house. But I am excited to explore some smaller ideas that anyone can try, like this IKEA lampshade hack. The idea was to create a makeshift kind of mold for the IKEA pendant lamps. And here I'm using both of them. Since one of them is larger than the other, I'm using the white plastic one as the exterior of the mold and the paper one as the interior. Then I'll be using a gypsum cement plaster medium to pour into the mold. Once this material sets, I'm hoping that the outcome will be a bit more organic and look more designer and less IKEA. I used a toilet paper roll to keep the hole at the top for the lamp open. I'm securing everything with packing tape. I'm really just making use of what I have on hand. So I put this on here for stability so that when I pour the cement in later that it won't wobble all over the place. I'm going to mix my gypsum cement now. It's called hydrostone. It comes in powder form. It's a very specific ratio. So hopefully that'll work for this makeshift mold that I've made. You will see. The mixture ratio for hydrostone is 32 parts water to 100 parts hydrostone powder. I am terrible at math, so I threw this into ChatGPT and it just basically told me how much I needed per cup of hydrostone or per cup of water. I was relatively precise with the measurements, but sometimes when I did over pour the water into the mix, I just added a bit more hydrostone and crossed my fingers. Hydrostone is also interesting in that you do have to let it sit for a bit and let the water fully come into contact with the powder before you start mixing. If you don't, the mixture is actually a little harder to mix and it won't be as easy to pour into the mold. I also made sure to try getting rid of most of the bubbles before I started pouring. This medium is also more quick to dry than cement is, which made things a little trickier as I was pouring. Moving. Then I evened out the pour by spinning the mold around a bit. That bottom area is only being held together with packing tape, so a little bit of the hydrostone leaked through, but this is actually where hydrostone is beneficial for being so quick drying. The hydrostone I first poured is drying up and therefore stiffening and holding the liquid parts of the hydrostone in place. Then I repeated this process a few more times to fill up the mold. It was honestly only here that I realized how heavy this was going to be. I only poured it up to a certain point just because I didn't want it to get too big and even heavier. At this point you can see that the paper lamp is a little wet, which is already better than I anticipated because it was less flimsy than I thought. As it was curing, it did get a bit hot, but nothing exploded or anything. This was what it looked like after an hour. And this is what it looked like after 2 hours, which is significantly drier. Once I made sure everything was dry, I removed the lamp from the mold. Why I say these dry to more of a ceramic finish is that these pieces that break off are actually really sharp because they're able to dry quickly in really thin sheets. So if you choose to use this material as well, make sure to be careful. This was crazy heavy, and at the time I really did not like how this looked. So this is what I'm currently left with. I don't know exactly what to do with it because it is heavy, like really. It's sharp. Oh my gosh, I can't even do this. And in retrospect, I should have wrapped this either in plastic wrap or in tape or something like that so that this whole situation didn't happen. But obviously I did not. I could sand all of this down potentially still, but if I were to do that, what am I going to do with this after? I have no idea. It's too heavy to hang on the ceiling. Might be able to make a lamp out of it. I don't know, maybe something great will come out of this after I clean this up and I'll have better ideas. So this is me already pretty far into the sanding process. I'm pretty sure I sanded for over an hour to get all of that cardboard stuff off. And meanwhile, because it was so heavy and I didn't really have a handle on it yet, the edges kept tipping over and chipping on the sides. So I had to sand those back down. And I chose to water sand because there's less dust and hydrostone breaks down a bit in water. So it definitely helps with the sanding process. I let the piece dry for a few days before I went back to it just because I was literally that tired from sanding. I cleaned it up a bit more and now I'm putting the bulb in to test it out. And here it is. What do you guys think? I was originally kind of concerned about the different pores that I made into the mold, but the layered look is actually really cool. Obviously, I cannot hang this, but as a table lamp, it's looking pretty chic. So as weary as I was, I did end up really liking this project. Hydrostone is more of an expensive material, but if you were to use cement, I'm pretty sure it would work as well. For me, I feel like it dries to more of a ceramic finish and it feels and looks a bit more organic compared to cement. It did take a lot of sanding and it was work, but I think this would look really nice in the new house. And I think it looks more expensive than its IKEA counterparts. It can pull off being almost travertine looking. You do have to be careful with it because it's easy to nick, but if it's styled on a shelf, it shouldn't require too much maintenance. I'm thinking that when we get to the new house, I will be adding a battery operated light inside just so that I don't have to keep plugging and unplugging that light. And I also don't want it to be corded. As I've mentioned, I am going to be working on a few more new little projects here and there before the new house. We had a medium meeting today with our contractor, but I did go to the new house today and our kitchen is basically in. I am very excited to see it. After this contractor meeting, I have concluded that there will be a lot of DIY projects at the new house. So yeah. I have started packing amid all of my projects, so if you want to keep track of that and stay tuned with where I'm at with packing up the house, definitely follow me on Instagram and TikTok at joes_abode. Until next time, bye!